and treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton. News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
All right, time right now is 8:30. Good Thursday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. This morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. You can see my handsome young guest sitting across from me. His name is Brad Robinson. He's the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy. Been a while since you've been on the show. You've had to have been on at least once or twice with me over the last 15 years, right?
I have. It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
But I have been on here.
Yeah, we've had the sheriff on a couple times, and Ashley Halsey, Chief Communication Officer,
right?
Talking about the sheriff's office and things. But yeah, glad to have you on this morning. We got several topics we're going to go through this morning. You guys have some events coming up, and then I'll just throw out some rubbish questions towards the end there as well.
Right.
I want to remind you, Joel wanted me to remind everybody that we are on the YouTube. We've got a YouTube page too. I believe it's Graded Communications, right? Yeah. So you can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch this show and all of our shows on YouTube, or the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, because we've learned recently that Facebook's getting kind of skimpy as far as keeping our videos on there, taking up too much space. So those disappear after 30 days. But the best we know, they'll always be on YouTube until they change their minds too. All right, Brad Robinson.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The bio. Who is Brad Robinson? How did he get here? Why is he here?
Well, that is a good question. But, from the beginning, I wanted to be in law enforcement. But graduating at 17 years old from Bowden High School, I ended up going into the Air Force, security police. Got out of the Air Force active duty in 1986 and was fortunate enough to join the sheriff's office here in Carroll County. So I've been there basically since 1986. There was a stint from 1998 till 2000 where I worked for Carrollton Police Department over investigations there. And then when Sheriff Langley ran for office in 2000, I came back to the sheriff's office. So I've been back chief deputy for 25 years basically.
So and I know you're not too much older than 50, but you and Terry have been friends for a good 50 years, right? Since high school, at least, or middle school?
That's correct. We actually graduated high school together. Mm-hmm. So we have been friends. I'm hoping that's not why he chose me to be his chief deputy, because we were friends. But, actually I was kind of I like to hunt and fish in high school, and he was more the sports guy. But obviously when I came back to the sheriff's office, he saw something in me, and I appreciate what he's done.
Air Force, did you do any flying in the Air Force?
I've taken some flights, in a jet, but it was not my job. It was security police was my job.
And I transferred over then. Yeah,
that's right.
Being in law enforcement now. Our guest this morning, Brad Robinson, again with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. He is the Chief Deputy. The first thing we want to talk about this morning is a Sheriff's Raffle. I think I've seen you guys are putting it on YouTube, promoting it anyway, and I think it's like a 30 days raffle or something like that?
It is. Several years ago, we had an account at the sheriff's office that we could spend the money a little bit more loosely. It was not from our budget. Restrictions came about in that account where we couldn't spend it for some of our special projects. And what I mean by loosely, it's not putting money into our pockets, but putting it back into the community. youth programs and so forth. We saw the need for that. We went about to do this raffle, 30 guns in 30 days. The raffle, the tickets are $100. But what we do with the proceeds from that is put it into our special projects account. And from there, we can we fund our youth camps during the summer, Special Olympics. We partner with Carrollton Police during the summer. There's a lot of programs that deal with our youth that we see as very important, to keep funded.
How about Shop with a Cop? Does that help that at all? Or?
Absolutely. FOP, Carrollton FOP, we deal with them quite a bit and contribute to that.
Well, how did we come up with the idea for 30 guns, 30 days? I know the first year, maybe the second year you guys did that. There was some pushback and some questions about,
right,
giving out guns. But
that's
it's not
right.
like you're just giving them out to a 18-year-old who has a bad record or anything like that.
Absolutely. We're very careful with that. Anybody who's 21 that can go in and buy a handgun, at Barnes Store or Southern Gun Traders in Bowden or any other store that has a federal firearms license, they have to complete a background check. And it's the same in this process. We purchased the guns ahead of time from those two stores, Barnes Store, Southern Gun Traders. And
Southern Gun local too?
It's down in Bowden.
Yeah, okay.
It is, and we've dealt with them for quite a while. And what we do is the winner has to actually go to those locations. We tell them where to go, where the gun can be picked up at. They have to pass the background check. They have to be of age, just as they were purchasing the gun, but we've already paid for it.
Very good. And does that already started as far as pulling the names, or?
No, it starts September the 1st.
Okay.
That September is a 30-day month, and so we've done that last year. There was one year we did it in April, and but we are selling tickets now. They're $100 a piece. You can pick those up from the sheriff's office. You can get them at Barnes Store, Southern Gun Traders in Bowden, or several of the deputies are out selling them too.
Is there a limit to how many tickets are going to be in the raffle at all?
We've printed about 700. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to sell somewhere about 500. So we'll see how it goes. They're selling fairly well right now. So the chances are pretty good. I mean, you buy one ticket, you have 30 chances.
And again, benefiting youth programs. I mean, tell us about some of those. The summer camp.
The summer camp.
Has that already happened? Did we miss that one?
You did miss that one. It was in June, first part of June. It was a great camp. We had 80 some odd kids. They spent 5 days with the officers here, primarily our school resource officers, getting to know them, interacting with the kids. So it's not just all fun, but even though we take them to Safari Land down in Pine Mountain, we took them to the water park, we took them to Cobb Justice Center. So they had a lot of field trips, but a lot of those classes that we teach in the school, talking about bullying, internet safety, gun safety. And what I mean by gun safety is not handling the firearm, but not handling the firearm in the home. So they do get a lot of educational programs during that week time.
And it's a good opportunity to see you guys in a different light, I guess.
That's right.
Are you hopeful at those times? Because, the last year, we've had some serious incidents with teenagers locally.
Correct.
Bremen, Mount Zion, Carrollton, a couple there too. Involving teenagers, which is kind of scary. It seems like more than ever that's happened. So, that's an opportunity for you guys to, get to be their buddies and tell them how, gangs are bad, or not that all these incidents had to do with the gang, but, tell them to be picky with their friends in the future.
That's true. A lot of times I think some of the parents try to portray the officers as, the enemy. Not in all cases, but they're going to say, if you don't straighten up, I'm going to take you to the police station. Yeah.
And they're not intending to be that.
That's right. No intent. But it's like we're going to correct you there. But I think this sees the officers in a better light. More of a friendly light, and someone that is helpful versus harmful.
All right, Brad Robinson, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. He is the Carroll County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy, and I interrupted you as I tend to do. What was another event that you got going on that benefits the kids, the youth programs? You said there was another one before I said Shop with a Cop.
There is Shop with a Cop. We talked about our youth. We've been to Pineland Camp down at Sheriff Youth Homes.
What does that do?
It just is a week-long camp that we used to do. We didn't do it this past summer. We participate with the Special Olympics program there at Carrollton PD. Mm-hmm. So there's various programs that we do with our youth throughout the year.
All right, you can get more information on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
To do that. And again, you said tickets are available at Barn Store and at the other
Southern Gun Traders.
Okay, or the sheriff's office. If you
Or
want
the
to
sheriff's office, Southern Gun Traders, or Barn Store.
Time right now is 8:39. We'll take our first break and come back and continue our conversation with Brad Robinson, Carroll County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy. Going to talk about a Citizens Academy coming up, also a public safety memorial event. I think this might be 5th year or something like that you guys have done that. We'll talk about that in our second segment. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post those on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, and I'll share those with the Chief Deputy during the program. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
All right, 8:41. Welcome back to the Community Voice Program, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. My guest this morning, Brad Robinson, Carroll County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy, joining us for the program. Teased a couple of topics for this segment. We talked about the Sheriff's Raffle in the first segment. Now let's talk about the Citizens Academy. This is not new. This is something that goes on every year and is pretty darn popular.
That's right. It is. When Sheriff Langley was elected and took office January of 2001, we started a Citizens Academy. There were several other agencies probably in the area that had already started that, but it's a good program. You know, it gives the Sheriff's Office a chance to educate those citizens who decide to come in and listen just a little bit about their Sheriff's Office. There's so many things probably that the public don't know that we do. I mean, they see the cars out there with the blue lights, and I hope they're not unfortunate enough for us to have to visit them on a domestic situation. But everybody knows the Sheriff's Office answers those types of calls and runs the jail. But I don't think that the public really knows, or a lot of the public, the inner workings of the Sheriff's Office, the people there, what they actually do, what the Sheriff's responsible for. So this gives an 8-week program that we can go through and educate the public on what we do, and we appreciate all the participants.
Now, that interaction with residents of the county or the city, whatever the law enforcement covers, you think that's always been needed? And it just, for whatever reason, like 20 years ago, or whoever, the law enforcement offices, departments decided, we need to interact with the community more. Is that something you think that was always needed, or did something happen in the time frame that said, all right, well, we need to do this and have better
relations? Well, I don't know if it's always been needed, because, it used to be in my opinion, the law enforcement probably responded with a little heavier fist. Back in the day, they carried the heavy flashlights and the flapjacks and would be quick to knock somebody in the head and nothing be said about it, But nowadays, it's not the case. We have to actually, when we go in to answer the call, we have to be very visible about what's going on and know that the public's watching. It didn't used to be that way. It seemed like back in the day, the old time, the bigger they are, the officers, a lot of those GSP guys were huge guys answering the calls. But now it's not quite that way. I want to be more friendly, and I think that's what the public is wanting, is to be educated on the officers, educated on what we do, and be part of our office.
Do kids still want to be police officers? Do you guys see that?
I think they do.
Because, that was, the thing about me growing up, 70s, 80s, that's what everybody said. They wanted to be a policeman or a fireman.
That's what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I think we still get a lot of applications. Right now we're probably the most staffed that we've been in probably 20 years. We might have 3 openings department-wide. I can say 4 or 5 years ago we had probably 18 to 20 openings. So fortunately, I mean, we're doing fairly well right there.
All right, again, I interrupted you and distracted you, took you off the course there. The Citizens Academy, when's that start, and how do you sign up for it?
Okay. All right. How you sign up for it is you can go to the carrollsheriff.net page, .com page. It all will redirect you to our website. And there's a tab up there, Community Programs. If you'll click on the tab, it will show you how you can sign up for any program that you're interested in. But we're talking about the Citizens Academy, so feel free to go in there and sign up for that. And we also have another program. It's called the Citizens Firearms Academy. That's only a 1 day at the firing range, but that gives it's classroom, and it gives the person an opportunity to come in and learn about the gun laws that pertains to them. You can go into the shooting simulator, and then you go out to the firing range and actually participate with the firearm.
All right, so go to the sheriff's page, and what's it? It says
Community Programs.
Community Programs. The Citizens Academy, you say 8 weeks. What's the commitment for somebody who wants to participate in that? Are they nighttime? Are they once a week?
It starts on September the 4th, which is a Thursday.
Okay.
And it starts at 6 p.m., and it runs to 9 o'clock p.m. So it's 3 hours a week for 8 weeks.
Does it cost
on
anything?
Thursday. It doesn't cost anything. We do like if you do sign up, that you try to be committed to come. I mean, I think I understand some emergencies may come up, but you may miss something that's maybe very important to you.
Do you guys have a day where you tase somebody?
No, we don't actually tase anybody unless you want to come, but we will.
Thank you. I mean, Carrollton Police, I know that. I don't know if they still do it, but in their program, they tase somebody.
No,
hey, look, this doesn't hurt.
Yeah, we can show you maybe some videos, but this segment we're going to do some pit training and driving training, which we haven't done, in the past. They'll get an opportunity to go to the firing range on a Saturday. We've got a couple Saturdays that they can go to the firing range. So, one thing that they'll learn about in tour is the jail. A lot of people don't know what it looks like inside the jail. So, I mean, it's pretty educational for someone who hasn't been involved with the sheriff's office.
Now, an event you guys started just a few years back, the Public Safety Memorial event. It's coming up on September the 12th of this year. I know we've always been able to stream that live for people who couldn't attend, and it was on Facebook until Facebook decides to take it down. But a lot of people do watch that. Cause it's a relatively short ceremony. You guys usually have a good speaker. I mean, it's
right.
moving, if nothing else. So what about this year's event?
Yeah, this year's event is going to be September the 12th. If you could put it on the calendar, because it's always the second Friday in September. It's going to be September the 12th. We're going to start music at 8:30 that morning, playing some music, but the program is going to start at 9 o'clock a.m. And what we do is just recognize those officers, public safety officers, that have given the ultimate sacrifice, their life in the line of duty. And unfortunately, this year we'll be recognizing Taylor Bristow, who gave his life last August. Actually, it's coming up on a year now. So that's going to be the highlight of the program there. The memorial program is going to be Bristow.
And I remember there were discussions to maybe recognize him last year, but it was just so quick afterward, and his family that you guys didn't want to put that on them.
And we did mention him last year, but you're right. It was within weeks of his death that we had our program, our event last year. We're going to recognize him this year, though. Sheriff Langley's going to speak. Also, I'd like to, I think on the program we're going to have Joel Richards, Chief, Carrollton PD, maybe give an update on Officer Krish, because the public's concerned about all public safety officers who's been injured in the line of duty, let alone, killed too.
Yeah, and Krish people, that's one of the things that people ask me mostly about,
Sure.
For any updates and things like that. Now, where's the Public Safety Memorial?
It's going to be adjacent to the Veterans Park. And if you haven't ever been out there, I invite you to go tour it. I mean, you can go any 7 days a week, but it's next to the Veterans Park out there, near the sheriff's office. But
September 12th, and what time?
it starts at 8:30, the music, but the program promptly at 9 o'clock a.m.
All right, Brad Robinson, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, Carroll County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy. Time right now is 8:49. We'll take our final break and come back and finish our conversation with Brad here on the Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
I 8:50. Welcome back to the Community Voice program, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. This morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Again, it's 8:50. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post those on there, and I'll try and look at them during the show. If it's 9:02 when you post it, we won't see it, but maybe the chief will go back. When you're watching it with your wife later on today, maybe you'll see the questions there, and you can go back and answer those. But thanks to Bertha Williamson checking in, Milton Adamson, Jeffrey Lee, Kevin Phillips, and Leslie McPherson for checking in to our program this morning. Let me ask you this. How has the relationship with law enforcement, how have you seen it change with media over maybe the last 20 years, 25 years, good, the bad?
I can see through different media stations, maybe how they, I won't say target law enforcement, but actually shed a negative light on law enforcement. But I will say that locally, whether we're talking about the community, whether we're talking about the media, I think law enforcement is still very well respected, and I can't say enough about the media here locally. Not just because I'm in this room. I mean, it's Times Georgian, it's Star News. It's anybody here that's reporting. It's not just the radio, but I think it's reported in a good light from the law enforcement side. So, and I appreciate that.
How do you feel about the social media? I mean, I think you guys obviously do a good job with social media, getting information out there. Right. I mean, it's nonstop. It's almost annoying, Leslie, how much you put out. Right. She puts out stuff every 4 or 5 hours. But when you see things on social media like unsubstantiated claims or
that's right,
things like that.
That's right.
Does that bug you guys?
Well, it's always like there's two sides to every story, and when you only hear one story, you can almost slight that story to the way you want to. Mm-hmm. And then when you don't have that chance to respond, or you don't think you probably need to respond at that time, I mean, it seems pretty negative toward law enforcement, but I think once the truth comes out, I would hope in most times law enforcement has always done the right thing.
Time right now is 8:52. Brad Robinson, my guest. One of our favorite nonprofits is the West Georgia First Responders.
Right.
A good friend Shane, I think he's been good to the station, and good friend to Josh, and always enjoy talking to him. How have you seen them work with the sheriff's office?
Yeah, Shane Davis, I mean, I can't say enough good things about Shane. His heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee you, I saw Shane yesterday. If we have an officer in need, I mean, he has a board that approves, what they do for those officers, the public safety. But it's not just public safety. I think it's a lot of different people in
the linemen even. Yeah.
I think a lineman, they've helped a lineman before, so I think it's an organization that's well run, it's well needed, and they've got some good guidelines, and I can't say enough good things about West Georgia Responders.
And he, I guess, helped with, you mentioned Taylor Bristow. I mean, I'm guessing he helped with his family.
Yeah, he's reached out. He's talked to Taylor's wife, and I know he's helped that family. But I mean, it's just not that guy. It's every officer that needs help, every public safety servant that needs help. Jane Davis is there with that organization.
I think the plan still is right now from the county to put forth the special purpose local option sales tax continuation. It'll be a new proposal,
Right.
but a continuation of that 1% tax, and they're hoping to do it in November. But there's been some back and forth between how they would divvy up the cash between the county and the
Right.
municipalities. But one of the big projects that has been touted that they're looking at is, I guess, a new sheriff's office, new jail, and maybe a mental health facility for female.
That's right. We've been in the sheriff's office where we're at now for probably 50 years. One of the things in the sheriff's office is we're outgrown. We've outgrown the building. We've made interview rooms out of the back of the bathrooms. I mean, we've used every closet for offices up there. So we're looking to build a sheriff's office. Also, the women's jail, which is part of the old sheriff's office there. It's in the back. It's also 50 years old. I mean, a lot of that is outdated. The way the jail is structured nowadays for security reasons, we just need probably a new women's facility. And then the infirmary side. Nowadays, with the mental health issues and the inmates coming in probably more sickly than they used to be, we need a larger infirmary there, mental health wing, medical wing. So those are two of the things that we're looking to change there at the sheriff's office. And I will say that the county and I think the cities has really worked hard on trying to make this happen.
And in the meantime, I mean, what kind of phases have you guys planned for that to happen? And will you just go across the street while some things are being built?
Some of that's still up in the air. We're looking at maybe the sheriff's office being built in the parking lot in front of the existing building there and then tearing it down. So we're still in some of the phases talking with, some of the builders on how we're going to go about that.
And I know Sheriff Langley, he, in the last 10 years of him being on the show and just talking to him, that the mental health's been a big concern of his. Maybe
Right.
some frustration that, you're getting continuously arresting people and it's all a mental health issue.
That's
And you're
right.
just putting them in your jail.
Right.
Has that changed? Have things happened to make that change at all?
It has not changed. One thing I'll say that I appreciate everybody working together on is I think the courts and the judges realize what's been happening, and it's not the agency's fault that when someone acts out with a mental health issue that they end up arresting them and bringing to jail. Well, then it, of course, becomes the sheriff's issue, is they're going to be in the jail, and sometimes they lag there for a long time. But, the courts have definitely stepped up quite a bit and changed some ways that they're doing things with the mental health court, veterans court, drug courts, and it's certainly helping some.
All right, time right now is 8:57. Got about 2 minutes left. This week there was a plea deal. There was a 17-year-old kid at a Mount Zion High School, now a former student. There was an issue where allegedly there was a murder plot for a student, at least one student at Mount Zion High School and one at Central High School.
Right.
So he was charged. He's been in jail since February 12th. I believe he's out of the Carroll County Jail now, but at least until this past Monday he was in jail. There was 2 charges, terroristic threats and criminal. It had to do with plotting a murder,
Right.
basically. He had a plea deal on Monday where it dropped that more significant one. So he's already served 6 months, give or take a couple of days. But he's basically going to have probation for 4.5 months. But the more significant charge, again, was dropped. When you guys, does it affect morale at all for the sheriff's office, for investigators, when they spend that much time in an investigation? They say, hey, this was a murder plot. And then it goes to the grand jury, and the grand jury says there's enough information there, to make us believe it should go to trial.
Right.
But then something like that's dropped.
Right.
Does that hurt morale at all or anything for investigators?
Well, that you see that time and time again where investigators spend a lot of time working on a case. They develop a good case. It goes to the court, and it may be reduced. I tell the guys and girls there that it's not our part. Our part is investigations and prepare the case file. And once it goes to the district attorney's office and to the courts, it's kind of out of our hands. And we've got to respect the decisions that they make and how they come about it. Sometimes I don't know. but our part in this is going to be the investigations and prepare the reports and make sure they've got all the answers they need in the case.
All right, fair enough. And I understand that some decisions are made that we're not always privy to. I mean, I know in my gig, I know there's things I do that people maybe not understand exactly why I reported that or framed something a certain way, but and maybe I have my reasons, but that I think it's beneficial in some way. Anyway, thanks for coming out, Chief. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
We'll see you in, I guess, maybe 7 years from now.
Thank you.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for this morning's program. I do have a special guest tomorrow. I think it'll be an interesting program if we can just confirm that he'll come on tomorrow. So I hope you do turn in at 8:30 tomorrow for more Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3.